Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? I hope everyone's doing great tonight. Tonight is Friday night. It's May 17th, and it's our very first Parachat, TSW Parachat. My name's Cassandra, and then we're going to have our hostesses of tonight, Carmelita and Diana, and I'll send them right over to you.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
We're back.
Yes. Our pre show went really well, so now we're back with our first episode.
Yeah.
We're going to enjoy ourselves this evening for sure.
I know we had a lot to talk about. There wasn't enough hours in the day to talk about what we need to talk about. Sure.
Exactly. And we were not expecting that a pre show would last as long, but boy, we had a lot to discuss. We're going to actually go through a great subject this evening to start us off. We're going to,
right?
yes, actually a few with your location beers.
Yeah.
And then two of mine, and we'll get a chance to have all the fun. We left you with some information we'll give you this evening as far as some surprises and everything.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be so fun.
Yes.
I know. I'm excited. Are you?
Yes.
What about your cast?
Heck yeah, I'm excited.
We're ready to go, I guess. So, our first location of hauntings will be your location, Carmen. What is
Okay,
it?
fine, I'll start. Okay, well, we actually have been interested in this for quite a while. I don't know if anyone has heard of the Zone of Silence or Zona del Silencio, air quotes. It's actually located in Durango near Coahuila and actually Chihuahua in Mexico. Um, there is like talk of like a magnetism or like in the rocks, even though there's like no metal or no iron and things like that.
Which is really interesting. You guys think?
Right.
How crazy is that?
Which is really cool. It's more like a dead zone, like a crash site for meteors, and it's really interesting. And a lot of people have noticed a lot of um, like beings or disembodied people like walking around, actually helping people. People who get stuck in like say
in the
like,
mud because
yeah.
it's so like plain there. It's just dirt.
Yeah, like storms. There was this couple that actually got stuck there in the mud. They wanted to get out of there because they saw a storm looming, and as soon as they got out there, the rain came down on them and created a big mud slosh all over the place, and they couldn't get out. They just went zzz, and all of a sudden, suddenly there was these two people in like raincoats or looked like raincoats appeared out of nowhere, and they were like I guess described as more kind of like very normal looking people, supposedly I guess everyday people in the area, and they actually came and they said, "Hey, we'll help you. You know, just get in the car and we'll try to get your truck out of the mud." And they said, "Okay." And they did that. They got out of the mud and everything, and they got out to say, "Hey, thanks," but they weren't there. They were like, "See, yeah, we weren't there. They was just there to help." And actually, there's like all the farmer people, all of the agricultural people of the surrounding area, the locals. They say that they see the same people, and that they actually come up to them and only ask for water and nothing else. They don't ask for food. They don't ask for.
So what are these people wearing? What do they look like?
I guess raincoats. I don't know that they were.
They're really tall.
They were tall, mysterious looking. I guess very normal looking. I don't know. But from what like that creeped me out. I was like, but it's kind of cool that they help. Like I would never like imagine that like someone would come and help me, in a disaster like that.
Well, especially when there was nobody else around.
And it's
Seriously,
in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So it's not, I mean, I've heard compasses don't work, cell phones don't work, communication.
it's like a dead zone.
Right.
Yeah,
It-
completely altogether.
And there was actually like NASA actually had a missile test that was going on over in
In what year?
1970.
Yeah.
Around July 2nd. And they were doing like some kind of missile test
Right.
over in Utah. And this missile was actually supposed to go to New Mexico, I guess crash test,
Mm-hmm.
and it never went there. It got rerouted, or the magnetism from the zone of silence threw it over there. And it crashed, landed in the zone of silence.
And so
Yeah.
NASA went to look for it, I'm sure.
Yeah, they went to go pick it up. You want to know why? Because there was radioactive materials inside, so they didn't want anybody getting sick or any of that stuff. So there are some traces in the rocks of radioactive material. So it's very like mysterious there.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I'm sure also the location has some type of draw to it. I believe I heard that the Bermuda Triangle and is it the pyramids in Egypt?
Yes, that actually that's the one thing I forgot to mention, that the zone of silence, since it's in Chihuahua, Mexico, like near Durango and stuff, it's aligned with the Bermuda Triangle, and the Bermuda Triangle to the Egyptian pyramids, and from the Egyptian pyramids to the triangle of the dragon, which is kind of creepy. You know how they do that? The
There's
ley
like a
lines?
line, that ley line,
Yes.
right? Something like
Is
that.
it longitude, that whatever that area is? It's a degree. I think they call it a degree of. I forget exactly what they said.
Who
It's either
knows? All I know
26 or
is that
28.
it goes. All I know is that it goes across, guys, and it
Mhm.
crosses like the Bermuda Triangle. It crosses the Egyptian pyramids, and then it gets to that one triangle of
Dragon.
the dragon, which is totally weird. Like, why would it work that way? Is it magnetism? What is magnetism?
I have a.
Why is it pulling? Why is it pulling everything?
I think maybe because of the magnetism, because there's something related to that. But they said that the Bermuda Triangle is related to methane gas, but yeah, that with the ships, like that's why the ships
Oh.
capsize and things like that. But what about the airplanes in the sky? What does that have to do with the methane gas?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Really strange. All I can tell you is that I find it really interesting. I don't know why that's happening. There's a lot of paranormal locations that a lot of strange stuff happens that we don't understand just yet.
Right.
But I'm sure like later on people are gonna be able, like scientists, not me, will be able to figure out why these things are happening. I mean, there was also a some kind of like meteorite that fell there too, but I think somebody was trying to block it or something. I don't know if it was NASA or not, but it went around Earth and it landed there. So that's interesting. It totally avoided Earth and it went all the way around and it ended up landing in the zona del silencio.
Well, at least that's a land mass landing, as opposed to landing in a triangle in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. So, I mean, it is totally, totally a different type of place.
Right.
And I don't know anything about the pyramids in Egypt, though.
Oh,
Be interesting to find out what's going on there that would be similar to the other two places.
maybe
The zone of
the
silence.
energy is in the rocks, because there has to be some kind of um, magnetism coming from these energy points. I guess that's the only thing I can probably say.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. That totally makes sense. I mean,
Mhm.
if it's Earth. I mean, supposedly they're in the middle of Earth, or inside Earth. There's like this iron ball, and so
Mhm.
maybe that's what is affecting this area. But why does it only affect that area and not the areas around there? Like if we go there with a cell phone, we wouldn't get any cell phone service. We wouldn't get any radio signals. So how do people communicate? You know? And then they have like some. I This is what I saw from a couple of videos that I saw. It was that I saw like these weird looking like rats, and they looked like they were like dragging themselves down, like down the like they're like the dirt. And it's really creepy looking. It had like a really long tail, and I mean, I wish I could like share the screen with you guys, but maybe later on when we get more high tech equipment, we'll be able to share screens and pictures with you. But there were some weird looking animals there. Did you see those, girls?
Yes,
Oh my
actually, they said in one of the videos that I was listening to that they have mutated animals in that location. I'm sorry, I don't know that I want to see a mutated animal.
Oh, poor baby.
That's not a fun sight to see. But
Right.
again, it's the power of the area. What is the area generating to cause those types of mutations?
The radiation probably from that
Yes.
missile a long time ago.
Right.
In the 1970s.
That's crazy. Okay, girls, we got a couple of people on chat. I mean, we wanted to, start the show like right at 8 p.m., but this is a casual, chill show.
Yes.
I keep saying show. It's not that I'm showing. Like, it's not like a show, but you know what I mean? We like to talk about paranormal stuff. And this is something we would do anyway, like on the phone, via text, through Messenger, on Facebook throughout the day. We're always talking about paranormal.
Girl talk.
Girl talk paranormal, yeah, totally. And then this is what we talk about all the time. But we wanted to share it now with everyone. And you're gonna hear us talk about so many random things. Just let us know. But I wanted to mention that people that are on chat, guys, do you guys see who's on there?
Yay!
Yes.
Joey Adventures, Angela Wilson.
Yeah.
Hello,
awesome.
Angie. And actually, Angela Wilson is part of the quad of us. She is the
Parababes.
fourth Parababe.
Yes, she's on the chat as our moderator. We love her.
Yes.
We wish she was here.
Yes, and I want to say thank you to Joey Adventures because we really appreciated the support. This is our first show, and we were kind of nervous to go on and everything, but now we got people on chat, and we feel better, and so now we can gossip about the paranormal, right? And get into it. Like,
thank you for joining.
Yes, thank you so much. Okay, back to you.
All right. So after the zone of silence, we went to our favorite location to look up some information, which is the Queen Mary, which we hope within the next month and a half to visit. It is a paranormally known location, I think, throughout the country here in the United States. And I'm sure people overseas have heard about it. You come in, there's, of course, a young girl. She passed away on the ship. The ship started out as a luxury liner, and in World War II, it held troops as for transporting during World War II. The ship actually set sail in 1936, and then it actually was retired in 1967. So it had a long life, a very long life.
And I heard that there were prisoners of war held there. And there was quite a bit of like turmoil that happened. Like a lot of what is it? Should I say? I don't know. A lot of agony. I guess.
Agony,
Yes.
death.
Death.
Yeah, I love the Queen Mary. I can't wait to go back to the Queen Mary. We went there with our other Parababe Angela, and we got some weird stuff. Okay, on the first show, well, not the first show, but the pre-show, I told you guys about a Queen Mary. What we heard, it was like a whistle and a name. We heard John. That was so weird because I heard it on my cell phone when we were walking around, and I was by myself. So I have no idea what guy named John said John right next to my cell phone. This is before we had Psb-7, before we had a digital recorder. We were just using our cell phones. And I was by myself. So this ship is huge, right, Car?
Yes.
Yeah, and we've always been interested in the paranormal,
Mhm.
and we've always been curious to find a way to communicate with them, out of respect, of course, because we know that the Queen Mary for sure is has a lot of history, has a lot of people that have passed through, come and go, in the afterlife and in life. So we definitely, it's something that we really love.
Yes, and there are some things that happen. There is a gentleman named John that is in door 13. He and another gentleman were tragically killed on the ship, and you can actually see John in his overalls, and he flashes in and out. He comes and goes. There's a lady in the Queen's salon dressed in a white dress, and sometimes you can see her dancing alone. She remains a mystery.
Oh,
No one knows about her and knows what she was doing there, but
oh
with
wow.
1,000 transatlantic, or more than 1,000 transatlantic
Oh my
trips,
God.
Yeah.
you're sure to get
So what is
some
there's a
type.
little girl there when we went to the Queen Mary, they have like this investigator that takes a group of us and like gives us tools and like what did we get? What was that one tool that we got, Clark? It was like a weird thing. It was just
I think it was a periscope. It was kind of like a little black box, and it had like little white, like little fingers, and each of them lit up if something went by. It kind of detected any kind of like magnetic energy, almost like the K2 meter right here behind us,
Mhm.
which is kind of interesting. You know how the light kind of flashes back and forth, and it
oh
gives you a
yeah.
show.
Oh, but I see it flashing. Can you bring it over? I mean, did you see it flashing?
A little bit.
Is it
Yes.
supposed to be doing that right now?
I mean, all of our equipment is right here, but it's actually back there. There's nothing but
No.
a battery pack back here.
And we're
That's it.
moving. It's not our energy, so it didn't flash.
Oh, well, there's. I know that at the Queen Mary, we did spend the night there. Okay, and it was the something anniversary. The 50th was it?
Wow.
No, it was the 80th,
The 80th.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, we were there and we were dressed up like in the 40s and stuff.
something like that.
And we
yeah.
we ended up spending the night, and we had that overnight ghost tour, and it was really interesting. There was a lot of people, but the ship, I was saying, the ship is so big, you get your own little area where you can investigate on your own. Like I was by myself, and so now that Diana mentions this guy named John, is I heard him speaking to my phone saying John. And it was really weird because it was like echoey. And when I was talking, asking questions, I didn't sound echoey. I was just like, I mean, I speak just like this. I'm pretty loud. I when I talk, I speak really loud. And this voice was low and deep and echoey and super creepy. And I didn't know what it was. So I know that on the pre-show, I told you guys that I was the one that ended up listening to all of like the recordings on our cell phones, and I was tripping out because I had never heard ever in my life a recording of things that I could not explain, like John speaking on the cell phone, and then someone whistling in the background. No one was whistling. Everybody was supposed to be quiet. No one was talking or making loud noises, much less whistling. So that was weird. There was some kind of weird melody. Maybe I'll play it in another video so you guys can hear it. And it's just like an old tune, like the old style music, you know. And yeah, I that's what we got. And then there was other things that we got too. Car, remember?
Yes, it was actually before we met you, Diana.
Yes.
Actually, Angie on her chat, um, she actually asked a question when we were down in the engine room, um, specifically for John, asking him what time he got out of work. And when the investigator, the lead investigator that led us down there, um, it actually played back the EVPs. It said 7 p.m.
Wow.
The voice that came through, we
Wow.
believe, was John's, which is kind of cool.
Yes. And Queen Mary, I think if you grew up in the Southern California area, it's probably the most well known. I think it's some place to go and enjoy, see what you can get.
So what's that story on this ship? I mean, why is it haunted? Besides the fact that, well, a lot of people died there.
Well, if you think about it, look how many people, at least 50, we'll say approximately 50 deaths on the whole ship.
Right.
But look at the different aspects of it. It was used as a luxury liner. It traveled from Europe to America. It traveled from the eastern part of the United States around, and mind you, you have to go around Panama, I do believe, and it has to go through the Panama Canal in order to transfer around to the western part of the United States, because that is the only place from North America to South America that a ship can travel from east to west of the United States.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So that would be the only way it would get over here.
Right. Okay, can you tell them, Car, about the cutlery we heard and that light and that weird darkness that I saw? Maybe you can tell them about your part, what you guys saw.
Okay, well, listen to this, guys. We were actually in the boiler room, which is like at the bottom, okay? We were at the bottom of the ship. There's like everyone's on top. We were in like DE deck or something way at the bottom. And we were in there and we were supposed to be quiet. The lead investigator made sure that we're supposed to be very quiet. And we all separated in our own groups. And me, Angela, and my sister Cass were off in a corner. And we actually were just waiting there with our cell phones and we were asking questions. And meanwhile, our investigator Matthew actually had like a light grid, a laser grid. That green kind of pen-like grid that marks the wall. So if anything moves across it, it'll shake or shimmer or something like that, and then you'll see something paranormal. So we were excited to see that, and we were playing our EVPs to kind of see what we got.
And this was before we had any equipment. We just had our cell phones.
Yeah,
and they were like some really bad cell phones, like old. They didn't work really well.
Yeah, it happens that way. I think now we're a little bit more prepared as a group. We are going to go visit, because I haven't had a chance to go to the Queen Mary. Oh, you're talking about someone who grew up here, and I just never took the time, I guess, in my younger years to investigate that. Now I'm really interested. We are hoping one day to visit room 340.
Yes.
It's been newly reopened.
Oh,
it
so
includes
creepy.
a Ouija board if you want to do that, or bring your investigative materials.
Yeah, guys, I wanted to tell you girls, we have Michael Scott on chat. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Hola. We have B Town.
That just popped in.
B Town Paranormal. Hi, welcome.
All right, hello.
Thank you so much for supporting us, guys, on our very first chat.
Thank you for coming to visit.
Yes.
And comment We really enjoyed it.
Yes, we're really happy to have you guys. But Car, can you finish telling them about what you saw at the boiler room?
Okay. Well, we were we didn't listen to our EVPs at that moment, but we were kind of like just recording. And what happened is that we were on like near this railing at the corner of the boiler room. Like it was very quiet, super quiet, and we were being very quiet. And what we were doing is just looking at the grid, seeing if anything moved or whatever. And then all of a sudden, my sister says that there's kind of like a dark bean shaped thing that flew across the grid.
It looked like a big
Ooh.
beam that went across.
Oh, it was so creepy.
Yeah.
But she saw the dark bean, and I saw like a white orb shoot right underneath the little bridge with the railing that we were on. It was creepy.
It was so creepy. Okay, what I saw, the railing was right in front of me, and I was looking at the grid, just the green grid of just lights. And I was like, okay, just staring. And we were really quiet, just recording with our cell phone, trying to listen. We weren't videotaping, we were just recording sound. And so I was like, oh, okay, it's nice. And it was really late. So I'm like, oh, nothing's happening. And then all of a sudden I look down, and all of a sudden I see like this black mass go across. So remember, I was like right here with the railing, and then I saw the thing go by right in front of me. And as I saw the black, I call it beam because it looked like a bean shape. It went across in front of me, and when I saw it go in front of me, they saw the light. So I'm thinking I saw the darkness of that light that Angie and Car saw, right? Because you said you saw like a light.
Yeah, me and Angie witnessed the white orb go from like the middle of the grid all the way underneath, and it just shot like a light. It was super fast, and we were like, "Did you see that?" We looked at each other, and then Cass was looking at something else, and so we were like, But I did see kind of like a thing on the left part of my eye, like how you kind of see something real quick on the corner of your eye, and you don't know what it is. It was kind of like that. So, but then I got distracted with the other one right underneath us. It was weird.
So many things happening in one place. It's really the history. I mean, think about it. 1936 until now, there has to be something there, and we'll be investigating it again.
Yeah, something is there for sure, guys. Let me tell you, because I was the one again listening for the EVPs in the recording, and we were there by ourselves. We were there for a while, super quiet, and in the recording, right before we saw that light and that shadow go across, I hear a full-on conversation between like a woman and a man having dinner. Just imagine, close your eyes and just imagine, okay, there's a couple on a date in a nice restaurant, and then you start thinking, okay, what do you hear in the background of a restaurant, right, Car?
Yeah, it was so creepy. It was like
Coloring.
Yeah, we were like, we heard like knives. Bye, Michael. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Thank you for stopping by. Like you can hear a plate and knives and forks scraping. Like there's some certain sounds that you're familiar with.
Yes,
Or
like
smells.
cups moving,
Yeah.
wine glasses, plates being with the knives
Clinking,
cutting in,
things like that. And that's what happened.
Oh,
we actually
boy.
heard glasses clinking, and we heard in the boiler room. Okay, guys, we're like, if the restaurant was above us, it would have been closed by the time we were investigating. It was really late. Usually the restaurants close at 9. So if you want to do a debunking session, then there you go. It's debunked, definitely. No, I mean, it's not. We were thinking.
And the conversation was like a date or something. What did she say?
Yeah, she said, are you single? Are you or are you attached? And he said, no. And
then you hear more cutlery.
And then I heard someone like, taking a drag,
drag.
from a cigarette, like going, and then, and I was like, huh.
Wow.
I mean, I don't smoke cigarettes or anything, so I'm not really familiar. But I I have friends that do, and I understood, the sound.
Yeah.
Kind of like how I was saying before.
Right.
You kind of understand certain sounds and things that are familiar in your life.
Right. And it's interesting. So interesting that we put all of these EVPs on YouTube, but we didn't know anything about editing. We didn't know how to put things together, but now we do. So I have all of these recordings. I'm going to do like a quick little video, and then I'll explain where it is that we're hearing these EVPs, so you get an idea if you ever go and investigate where the good location is to go and find out if you can get some EVPs. But that boiler room, crazy. You guys need to go and check it out. And for sure, we're planning to go, like the Parababes. We need to go there, and we already have it planned for a certain date. We're gonna kind of keep it on the down low because we might be meeting people there, but we'll let you guys know, and we'll videotape it. Videotape. I'm dating myself again.
Yes.
We're gonna record it, and then we'll present it to you, and we're gonna try to go live. The only problem is that now we can't go live like mobile because we have under 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys can, please, if you love our Parachat and you like our investigation videos, if you can subscribe, that'd be awesome. And if you can share this live show and also our other videos, or just share, if you like it, and I'm sure other people might want to subscribe or check us out. Okay, and give us a like. Okay, so what's next, girls?
Well, Pioneer Saloon. It's located in Good Springs, Nevada, which is a nod to our Parababe in Las Vegas, Angela.
Hats off to you.
And it was actually featured on Ghost Adventures. It was actually opened and built in 1913.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, over 100 years old.
Oh my.
Over
Wow.
100. And it is actually known to be the oldest saloon in the state of Nevada. Now, I don't know if anybody can tell me any saloon that's still open with a lot of its 1913 motif. I couldn't imagine hearing anything anywhere else. Nevada's got it.
I wonder if they have sarsaparilla there. I want to try that.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
Oh.
I'm gonna tell you, Carol Lombard, 1941 to 1942, her plane crashed near Good Springs, and Clark Gable, he was there, and she's known to visit there from time to time. And Ghost Adventures showed the orbs and the voices of communication on there.
Oh yeah, they stayed there, huh?
Yes. And it was at nighttime, and it was very dark. Boy, there was a lot of communication. A lot of communication.
What else do they have there? Is it just like a desert, or?
I think it's a mining town. It was originally a mining town. Similar probably to Calico.
Oh, I love mines. I wanted to go in that one mine in Calico, but they didn't let us.
Yeah, and they actually mined a lot more than in Calico. I mean, they have a lot more items. They actually mined gold, I believe.
Oh, not silver
Gold.
ore like over in Calico.
Not just silver and ore, it was silver, ore, gold, and other rare
Other materials. Okay.
Yes,
Oh.
other materials.
So
And-
why is it that it's so like popular to go there? I mean, I know a saloon would be fun. I mean, you probably have some fun going on there, some alcohols, it's a bar, right? I mean, there's ghosts there,
Exactly.
so people go and investigate, right?
Yes. And the mining, let me tell you, with the history of mining in over 100 years, there has to be plenty of paranormal experiences within that town in and of itself. Because there's just so much that has been done there, and if you go there after hours, see if there is a way to investigate. We'll have to look that up and see how we can investigate it,
Mhm.
because it would be interesting. Now we know Goldfield is also in Nevada, and that's
Oh.
another one that we have to go to.
Where that brick was thrown
Yes,
in that episode.
yes.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
there's a young lady that had gotten pregnant, I believe, and they trapped her. They like held her against her will.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yes.
They chained her to a radiator.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, yeah, and she passed away. Um, so I wonder if she has like a lot to say, or if anyone has even asked her what her story is. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Exactly. Because it seems like even other states have a lot more hauntings than we can even imagine. Uh, Nevada, especially, I'm sure, with the desert around there and different places to go and look at.
Mhm.
Even though some of the locations are newer, you still get hauntings because
Right. Well,
things happen.
yeah, we like everything creepy and haunting and spooky, and we like to be able to get answers to our questions, right?
Yes.
I mean, just getting a name is enough for us to go, wow, I can't believe we heard that. Like in our investigations, we usually get names, we get dates, we get years, we hear our own names being said. So, how can that be if it's a radio station?
Exactly.
There's no way that they would know my name. Cassandra? Really? And then they say bad words sometimes. So, I don't think it's a radio station.
But I mean, we try to be respectful, um, even though sometimes they are not. But we try to ask them about their lives, about what they used to do during the day, what they're interested in, if they ate something today, things like that, normal things. And then we kind of go into um, what is going on at the time and see if they see us. We'll ask them if they see us, because sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Mhm.
They don't have enough energy. So that's another thing that we can probably get, maybe like a REM pod or something, get more energy for them to talk to us.
So,
Yeah.
what other equipment you guys want to get?
Oh,
I think if we had the
Just go with your list, the top favorites. I know I would get the
REM
SLS,
pod.
right?
Yeah, the REM pod PSB-11. If we get the PSB-11, that would
I want
be
to get
great.
my hands on an obelisk.
Mm-hmm.
Any kind of obelisk, it doesn't matter.
It's
digital, yeah.
That's true.
I mean, I'm an old school obelisk girl, but like I would just die if I had one in my hands. It would be awesome.
And night vision. We want to see things at night. What we're actually seeing. We've gotten orbs before like crazy.
Yeah.
We stayed in a hotel in San Diego, and boy, we were looking at it. We got some orbs we were not expecting to get, and we get communication, especially. And you have to think about it. If you're using a PSB-7, we're specifically doing a reverse sweep.
Right.
So if you're going in reverse, nothing could be understood.
And the amount of milliseconds that are used, from 100 to 300, 300 being the slowest, you get more FM, AM transmission bled into the transmission, I guess. But if it's faster, then there's even less of a chance in reverse to actually hear,
And that's why I like to
something
use
forward,
150.
Right.
150 is optimal because you won't get as much bleed out in. I mentioned in the pre-show that the gentleman that I took care of, he interrupted. Now, I don't think the second word isn't a prohibited word, is it? The
What?
Internet.
No.
Oh, we could say it. Okay, so in the question, I was asking my great grandmothers if they were there, and it seemed as if my great grandmothers were going to answer something. But this man interrupted in the middle, and it didn't just say, "Oh, I'm interrupting," and then he just says what he's going to say. No, it went beep, and then it said, "Internet sucks."
So this was you were gonna tell us on Monday, but we didn't get a chance.
Exactly.
Right,
And
continuation.
let me tell you, hearing that, and in the fact that it was only two women, and this is specifically a male voice, and it sounds exactly like him. I'm not going to say anything different. It sounds exactly like him. So if you see the medium voicemails on the Sisters Wood here on YouTube, and you get a chance to watch it and listen to it, you will hear the internet sucks. And I just laughed because he was so techie in life. In death, he's even more, and it's with me who he thought was techie. So.
Yeah, and we're still learning. I mean,
Yeah, we're learning.
Yeah.
I mean, we just got a comment from Proving Demons. If you want to read it.
it says, I don't mean to be a smartass, but reverse sweep doesn't mean the audio is reversed. It just means the stations are sweeping in the opposite direction to forward. So both.
Oh, it doesn't mix.
So both. So it's like what? Linear. What is it?
Linear
Like,
sweep.
linear sweep. Okay.
The thing is that why, like, okay, let's say, I mean, I'm usually the debunker, right? I'm the one that usually says, oh, well, you know what? That's not real. The radio it just said something from a radio station or a show. But sometimes it comes in different languages. It says they say our name. They they say they answer our questions when we ask them specific questions. So I don't know what that could be. I mean, I wonder if these spirits or entities or I don't know extraterrestrials. I don't know what they are or who they are listening to us. Can they see us? I mean, we've asked them that question before.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I did one in my room. The shocking thing is I never tell anybody because I don't think I told you girls what my nickname was.
No.
Yet my nickname as a child came out 3 times, one after the other.
Yeah, we didn't know your nickname.
No, and no one knows that my grandfather, whose name is Edward, his nickname was Butter Buddy. And I asked my grandma, what did they call your husband? And it was my grandma Hazel. And I got 3 answers again, Buddy. And I have to have my mom listen to the information because I want to see if that's my grandmother's voice, because at the end there was a woman that came in strong that said, Buddy. But I don't go around telling anyone what my family calls certain people. So those were shocking.
I didn't even know the name of your family members who have passed on. And I just started shooting out names. And then you were like, what?
Yeah.
You were pretty amazed at what came out. Like
exactly.
Like Melva.
Yeah.
And people that like that I've never heard of before, words that I've never heard of before. And it's quite interesting. I mean, I don't know how that can happen. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, it doesn't. I don't think the location has anything to do with it. I mean, it has something to do with it because some locations are more active than others, and that's what we've found out by going to Calico, going to
Black Star Canyon.
Black Star Canyon. That's the good one, and we're gonna go again maybe tomorrow. I don't know. It's a secret. But we might go back again, and we always get something. There's always something that we can't understand, and we've seen things and heard things that I can't explain, and I always try to debunk these things, and I don't understand why.
And you know what's funny is...
Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry. So I think the funny thing is the last time we went there, we heard drumming. We came back and we heard drumming. And there was no drumming there. It was completely silent. And we get something different every single time. There's nothing in that location that's ever the same. Ever.
There's always someone willing to talk to us I've heard so many different languages. Um, they say that the Shoshone tribe is there, and I've heard different languages, like languages that I've never heard of before, and it was interesting. I mean, Spanish, English, um, people that are thinking that they are talking with their loved ones, or they just want to say what they need to say that I haven't in such a long time.
Yeah,
you know?
they have long conversations. So what's our next haunted place that we wanted to talk about? We have a lot of them, right?
Yes, actually, there is quite a bit. We just
Too many.
I know.
Hey, Proving Demons, you could probably give us some information on the European locations that are
Hey, we
very
can go over
haunted.
there.
Yeah,
We're
Well,
we
coming
wouldn't mind.
over.
We wouldn't mind. There's a lot of years in Europe that would cause a lot of paranormal activity.
Right.
I want to
A
get in
lot.
those catacombs. I want to see some bones.
Yes. I want to see something really scary.
See, I'm
Yeah.
not really, like I've never really been scared of the dark. Like I like walking around in the dark. I watch paranormal from the day I wake up till I go to sleep. You know.
Proving Demon says that we should look into the skinwalkers because we're in the right place to look into those legends.
Oh, nice.
Oh, really?
But I don't. What are the skinwalkers?
Skinwalker Ranch. I've heard of that.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. I guess it's kind of like a. Is that more like cryptozoology, or is that like an entity, or some kind of a demon?
We're gonna have to look
I don't
into
know.
it.
We gotta check it out.
Yeah, I gotta check it out.
Exactly.
So did you girls want to do a PSB session? We got something fancy that we want to try that we've
Yes.
never tried before.
Yeah.
We were thinking about something that we wanted to try that I think I've never seen. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it done the way we're planning on doing it this evening, and we want to give you something new to think about. Maybe do this yourselves, see what kind of answers you get. What we're gonna do, we have a blindfold here, and our lovely Parababe here, Carmen, is very good with her ears. She hears a lot, gets a lot. We all do, but she sometimes can get a lot of different things. So we're going to open her sense of hearing by blindfolding her.
Okay.
So-
Oh damn!
We're going to
we-
blindfold.
Yeah.
Getting kinky.
No. What we have is a noise canceling headphones, and Diana here is going to blindfold me. And
But what's the point of all this?
well, the point of this is to ask questions while the PSB-7 is sounding in my ear.
Mhm.
And then I have the Olympus digital recorder, and it's gonna record what's happening in my ear, and then I'm gonna play it back here on the Black Star and see how that goes.
And generally, what happens here is she will not know what question is asked. Both Cass and I will be asking questions, and because of the level of volume that it will be in her ear from the PSB-7 in the reverse sweep at 150 that we normally do. So we're going to blindfold her so she doesn't see anything. And we're going to put the headphones on. It's going to be quite loud. And when it's hooked up to the Black Star and playback, you'll get an idea of what she's hearing in her ears. And it's going to be quite loud, actually.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. So
Here we go.
do you want to put the headphones on first or the...
Yeah, I think I want to put the headphones on so they can cut my ears better.
Okay.
Okay. Do that. It's
Cool.
gonna be pretty loud in here.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
so
want
be
to turn it on
careful.
first.
Yeah.
You might want to take the earphones off. Can you hear me?
I don't think she can hear
Carmen,
us.
can you hear me at all?
She can't hear us.
What?
Yeah.
She can't hear us.
So that tells everybody
Yeah.
she can't hear us. So I'm just gonna come over here.
Can you see? You closed your eyes and then you got the blindfold over your eyes, right?
Yeah. I don't think she can see it though.
Lift up the yeah, lift it up.
Oh, poor
The
thing.
bottom.
I'm
There's
fine.
oh her eyes. I can see her
No,
eyes.
just close the whole.
Just close it because of the light, huh? Okay.
Okay, so
Don't go to sleep.
don't fall asleep, but I don't think she will because
She can't even hear us. We're talking
No.
to her and she can't hear us. Oh my god, we're so weird. Okay, so what's next, Diana?
Okay, generally what we do when we open up our spirit box sessions or Psb-7 sessions, we ask that people entering the room of spirit be of the white light, be of positive nature to us. No negativity will be allowed in this space or anywhere around us. We ask for all communication to be of a positive nature. So we're gonna get started this evening, and you can tell she
You're
can't
gonna have to
see.
start it for her because she doesn't know when we want to start it, right?
I have it right here.
Okay,
That's.
so I'm gonna tap her.
Can you
Go
hear
ahead.
us, Car?
Can you hear us at all, Carmen? Okay, no, she can't hear us. So go start.
I just started the recording.
Okay,
She's yelling because she can't hear herself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we're
so
gonna
maybe like say okay, like with your hand.
All right, so we're gonna start now. Is there anyone that here in this room that would like to leave their name?
Is
I
it?
do.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can you give us your name now?
Albert. Yeah. The people. I don't know.
Do you know Cassandra or Carmen?
Carmen.
Do you know of anyone in the chat with us? Can you give us a name? All right. What you,
The back.
the back?
Your back.
Oh, in the back of us?
Or you are back. Behind you, Diana.
So is it
The
are you,
trust fitting.
Are you located in the room here? Because we're seeing some activity. No. Do you know any of us?
The woman.
There's 3 of us here. Which woman would you know?
I don't know.
What is your message? You want to leave a message for your family?
I heard a weird noise. Outside?
If you're outside, you can come
What?
in.
I'm walking.
What is your message for your family and friends? We're gonna cut it short now. So if you have a message, please tell us.
The people.
What people? What about the people?
Is there anything you'd like to say to anyone?
Really?
Have you come to communicate with anyone in particular?
Right now?
Yes, right now. Do you have a name?
Yeah.
And what is that?
I thought I heard Dee Dee.
What year are you in?
I thought I heard house.
House.
What year is it?
Why?
What year are you in?
What is the last thing you remember?
I left? Abandoned? Why?
Who abandoned you? Did you abandon
Baby?
Maybe. Did you abandon someone?
No.
Someone abandoned you?
Everyone.
Oh, we're so sorry to hear that.
Oh, that's a shame.
We hope you're in a better place.
Again, the K2 meter keeps going off periodically and not just green. I've seen it go to yellow as well. So there is activity
Yes.
here
So
as well.
we're gonna stop. If you have a message, please say it now. Thank you.
Carmen.
What about Carmen?
I talk.
Yes, we hear you. Who are you?
Robertson?
What's your first name?
Do you see us?
A few of you?
Yes, there's 3 of us. Is there 3 of us or 4? How many are we?
Who do you see?
I'm hearing different languages.
Okay. Leave your message. We're about to stop communication, so leave your message. Get ready. Go.
Jeffrey?
Jeffrey, do you see us here?
No.
Can you hear us only?
I don't know.
That's okay. Are you happy where you're at?
Almost.
We're glad. We hope you become happy soon. We're
Yes.
gonna stop communication now. Thank you everybody for
Thank
contacting
you.
us.
And we ask that all the spirits return to where you came from. Please don't follow us or remain here. Thank you for coming this evening. And
Go
we're gonna-
back to where you came
came
from.
from.
We want it clean and clear here.
Yes, we do not want anybody following us. Thank you for communicating this evening.
Look at your makeup. You can take. She can't hear us. Take it off. There you go.
Oh boy.
Okay, so now we're gonna try to play it back so
Mhm.
that you can hear what it is that Carmen heard.
The one thing I do want to ask Carmen before, how do you feel? How do you feel when you're doing that? How does it come off? Does it come off very strong? How do you feel?
I don't know. I feel like I was like straining to listen, like in all of the noise, and then sometimes like they would yell.
Okay,
Ooh.
I just want to make a note
Right.
of something.
Uh-huh.
When you said walking outside, I heard a noise outside
Oh my god.
right before you said that.
Mm.
Because I'm right. Let me see. I'm right next to the window right here, and I heard a noise first before you said walking outside.
Hmm.
Okay, so did you want to play it back?
I heard.
Yes.
I heard like men, mostly men, talking through the
Like a male voices.
Yeah, spirit box, and it's like I don't know.
Mhm.
Like I heard, Jeffrey like yelling like really loud, and so we'll see if we hear it right now.
Okay.
So I have the digital recorder. I had this thing on super loud,
Mm-hmm.
like in my ear.
The Psb-7.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and plug that in.
This is really interesting.
More interesting for us who are listening and answering the
Yeah.
questions.
So I actually have the ZONA noise killer hooked onto my
Black Star.
Black Star here. So hopefully it's not gonna be too loud for you guys, but it's trying to noise cancel all of the
Okay.
crazy stuff.
The noise.
Yeah. So we're gonna see. I preset it because I was playing around with the settings in order to hear, what's happening here. So yeah, it's pretty loud.
Okay, just turn it down first, and then you can turn it up, so it doesn't hurt everybody's ears.
Okay, so I'm gonna put it at a 5.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Okay, now you can turn it up.
It's kind of really low. Oh, let me turn it up here.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of different. Jeffrey. Carmen.
hard time understanding it.
Me too.
You want it? You want to just play it back like normal without the noise killer?
No.
Yeah.
Said no. I thought I heard Diana.
I heard Diana.
Yeah, me too.
See, some of them were really low.
Carmen.
Yeah.
There's other voices in there.
Robertson. Yeah, I agree, Linda. They do talk to each other.
Yep, they do.
I heard Frank.
Frank?
Yep.
Diana.
Linda.
Yeah, I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna answer.
I don't.
What did you say?
I don't. Energy.
Hi.
Hi. I love you. Peter. Thought I heard my name coming. Sorry.
That's okay.
We're together. I heard.
I hear words, but it's hard for me to understand them.
It's still something that we're developing. I'm gonna pause it.
But I do hear words. Like
yeah.
they
Yes.
match the words that we're hearing right now. They match the EVPs I typed in that you were saying when you were blindfolded.
Right.
So a lot of them did match. And
Yes.
What's interesting is that the question that Diana was asking matched what Carmen was answering. And the fact that I heard a noise outside, right by the window, and then Carmen said, I'm outside walking.
Mhm.
That just it's crazy. That's
Like, I
crazy.
didn't hear any of the questions that you guys were saying.
No.
I just kind of like blurting out.
Yeah.
And they were already starting to talk before you tapped me.
Do you want to explain to
Oh,
the
really?
new viewers what we just did?
Okay.
Explain
well,
the whole process. So Linda, like for
Okay.
example, Linda.
Okay, Linda. So what we are doing here is sort of an experimental
PSB7.
PSB 7 session that we're doing with the equipment that we have.
What equipment is that?
The equipment that
Show.
I am currently using right now. Before you logged in to view on our channel, I use noise canceling headphones. I put them on, and I have the PSB 7 box. And I'm talking loud because I can't hear, but we did it in a reverse sweep.
And then you were
And
blindfolded.
then I was,
Tell her, Diana.
Where's the blindfold? But it is a blindfold similar to this. It was red in color, like on her head.
And then what I did was I got the Olympus recorder, the digital audio recorder, and connected it to what's going on. So I'm hearing the PSB 7 in my head here
And this is recording it.
at level 30, so it's super loud in my ear. While this is recording what's happening here in the PSB 7, and they're asking questions out in the air. And whatever I hear in the super loud headphones, whatever they're asking, I can't hear them. So I'm just kind of blurting out whatever is
You
there,
hear.
whatever I hear. And Diana tapped me when I could commence my
Listening and
listening
when
and
we started
blurting out
questions.
words.
Yeah.
But I already heard them. As soon as I turned this on, they started, talking, like trying to get their message out.
Because I think what I did is before I started asking questions, I did ask people of the white light to come in the room to communicate with us. The thing about blindfolding Carmen is that it will heighten her hearing sense, and it will do away with her visual sense. So heightening that listening sense will help her hear what's going on in the headphones. It's something that we really have to perfect and record and find a way to listen. So we could record first the questions that we're saying, and then the answers. And it's been going off like this the past
That's our K2
the
meter.
whole the K2 meter's been going on, and I think I even mentioned it during when Carmen was listening, because I was
Oh, it was
noticing
going off?
it was going off. It was in the yellow.
See, there was
and I
quite a,
could see it.
there was quite a few people that were just like yelling stuff.
Yeah, and mostly male.
Yeah, mostly
And
male.
you can hear you can hear the male
Yeah,
voices.
the females. It was. I think it was only one I heard.
Right.
And
But you have to close it. So you want to close it?
right. Okay. So all of those that joined us, were other white light, can remain in the white light and not follow us. And you must remain there. You cannot hang out with us or be here,
Everyone.
or be here in the home or with anyone here. Please stay within your
where you came from.
where you came from.
Yes,
Yes.
and we will talk to you another time. That was a really interesting test that we did. We have a new person on chat saying, yes, you can hear clearer and more when in reverse. Hi, I'm new here. His name is his or her name, Purple Quartz. Welcome,
Welcome.
Purple.
Welcome, Purple Quartz.
That's a pretty name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we
I
like
that.
crystals.
If you like what
Yes.
you see here, please like or subscribe. We definitely share. You know, we definitely are interested in the paranormal, and we love to
Try new different things.
right out of
Mhm.
respect always with any spirits. You know, of course we try to communicate with our loved ones, but in a personal level. We never record it, but you know, we always ask questions. We know that they're always around. You know, what do you guys think?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that we close it off because this is our personal space and we want to be able to have. I think they're still here, girls.
Yeah.
I see that
But
K2
again,
going crazy over there.
I know you don't want to leave, and we'll make sure that we come back and we speak with you again. We're not going to leave it as if this is your only mode of communication and that's it. You don't want.
And there's many other
Mhm.
investigators that want to talk to anyone from the other side.
Yes.
So we're not the only ones.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so that was very interesting. I really liked it. It's very unique.
Mhm.
I like how we used the Black Star amp connected to the noise killer. That was different. To me, it was a little bit harder to understand
Yes.
without all that, which I'm totally used to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
The Psb-7 in reverse on its own um, is harder to hear, but when you have the noise killer, it kind of cancels out that little, you know, noise. But it's still something in the works. It's a I guess still a test that we're kind of doing, but so far it's been working. In the 2 times we've done it, we're just kind of like it's kind of like in beta mode right now.
What I like is
Yes.
that we were able to record what you were listening to,
Yeah,
so
we're
we
just-
could play it back and look at the EVPs that we typed in the chat while you were talking. So you can go back and watch this video later
yeah.
and listen to it and look at the EVPs, all the words that were said by Carmen
Mhm.
from the questions that Diana asked. And a lot of them, there were answers to the questions that Diana was
Yes.
asking. And if people don't know, Diana's nickname or childhood name was Dee Dee.
Dee. Yeah.
And
you
that's
heard
and
it.
Carmelita heard that.
Yes. And that's where there is another nickname, and only my mom called it to me that I know of. I don't know if my father did, but I haven't heard that. Thank goodness, because it isn't amazing. And you know, I said when I was in the pre-show that I would give you the information as to why this interests me as far as the paranormal is concerned. When I was a child, we lived in a home in 1973 in the city of Torrance, just south of Palos Verdes or Rancho Palos Verdes and west of Redondo Beach.
Oh, that's the story that you
Yes.
didn't finish telling, right?
Exactly. So one night I had to have been like 5 to 6 years old, maybe a little bit older than that. I had to get up, go to the bathroom, and the hallway, the bathroom was in the middle of the hallway towards the front room. I'm all the way at the end of the hallway.
Of course, it always
Yes.
is.
It is always that way.
Yes.
You have to walk through the darkness.
Yes. So you got to go down into the bathroom, and there's like a little area with 2 cupboards on each side.
Uh-huh.
So you walk through that area to get to the door to the bathroom. Well, that night I looked, because when you're sitting on the toilet, you have to look to the left out the door. So I looked to the left and I saw a woman, and the woman was in very long, flowy type of white dress. She looked right at me and she continued down the hall. I was so scared because I didn't know which end of the hall she would possibly be in. So I fell asleep on the floor of the bathroom. And maybe a couple hours later, I got up and I saw that same apparition, I guess is what you would say, come down the hall, look at me a second time, and I was in the bathroom. This time, I fell asleep in the bathtub. So I said, "Oh, I need to go back to sleep, but I can't go back to bed right now."
You can't go down the hallway either.
No. And my brother saw her too. It was very crazy, but we did not say anything to each other until we were already grown adults. We hadn't lived in that house, I would say, for about 15 years when we discussed it. And
Oh, you guys match your stories?
it was the same story. The only thing that was different is he saw yellow dress, I saw white both times. Now, I'm only getting that maybe he saw the woman one time. I'm not getting multiple, but I saw multiple. And I was very young. Now, fast forward going to a medium, and the medium asked me, "Did you live in a home with a back house?" Like I said in the pre-show. And no, we didn't. And she said, "Well, your grandmother came to visit you in the house. Did it have a separate garage?" Yes, a separate garage. So that's what it got me. And when she mentioned it was way back, okay, it was my childhood home. So if it was my grandmother, she wanted to come and visit us. We loved it all the same. Um, it was just very interesting to see that as a young child, and to be so interested in the paranormal as an adult. I could kind of see where I would like to see those types of things even as an adult. And we know children are more susceptible to seeing spirit and recognizing spirit.
Yeah,
so
I'm a believer in that. What kind of dress was it? Was it like period dress or
it seemed like a white dress with tatters at the end.
Ooh.
Like it flowed, but it just went like this with her walk.
Like floating.
Oh,
Yes,
wispy.
yes, very wispy. It was very light fabric. I would probably say kind of like a chiffon type of look to it. Um, I know when I was a young kid, there was always something going on. So I don't know if she thought, "Oh, maybe this girl's sensitive. I might just keep up with her because she's seeing something." So
Yeah. I don't know.
it was, I mean, it's pretty crazy when family does that.
Yeah.
And my mom mentioned she had a dream about her mother, and she was looking to have a son while she was pregnant with me. So in the dream, she's trying to return the baby, which is me, to the hospital because I was not a boy. From that point on in her pregnancy, she knew she was going to have a girl.
Put her back. Put her back.
Yeah, it's like, "I'm taking her back. I got the wrong thing at the hospital." That was hilarious to hear my mom say that.
Wow, that's
So,
interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot of different things, I think.
Yeah, little by little, I think we're
Mhm.
gonna be giving some of these stories to our viewers.
Yeah, and it helps. I mean, I'm sure the girls in their moving from when they came to this state on, they've had experiences. I'm sure you guys have,
Yeah.
because this this type of paranormal activity happens all over.
I
It's
think
crazy
they're
how
all
it
around.
does.
They're all
Yes,
around, and I'm a believer in
yes,
that. You don't have to go far
none.
to communicate with um, a traveler spirit or a
Exactly.
passerby or someone who's just lost. And that's what we do. What we do because what if they just need to talk?
Right.
I mean, just as simple as that. And
Mhm.
they don't have anyone to talk to. And we've asked them that. We've asked them, um, does anyone ever come and talk to you? And they say no. And
Mm.
it's interesting, you know.
Yeah, because I'm sure in where they're at now, they want to communicate as if they're with us. And that's very difficult when you've been silenced for so long and you have this opportunity, and we're opening things up and creating these opportunities for them to communicate. It's what they've been wanting to do.
Yeah. And it's true what Linda says. There's always one experience that gets you, curious
Yes.
and wanting to know more. And yeah, ever since we were, little, or I speak for myself, things have happened. I've heard noises. I've heard scraping, in the kitchen when nothing fell or nothing was there. Um, just feeling scared at night and not knowing why. Of course, kids are always scared of the dark, but
Mm-hmm.
but at like what 12, I didn't feel scared of the dark after that. So what did you just kind of second guess yourself and you're like kind of throw it out the window and you're like, I guess I'm just crazy. I guess
Yeah.
I just imagined it, or I was sleepy or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the older we get, the more life takes over. So the opportunities for that innocent piece to be dropped into our psyche as a young child, it gets that way.
Yes, I just wanted to share that. I believe in everything that girls are saying. I think that as you grow up, being a child, you're open to things, you have imagination, you want to play. You might get visitors and you might say, hey, let's go, play and throw the ball around. And you get friends. Some kids are bullies and you don't have, kids don't have other friends at school, or they're not with the cool crowd, and I think spirits see that and they want to, hang out with these kids. And that's probably why they're more open to spirits and to ghostly things, and they see things. And I think also it might have a lot to do with reincarnation as well. Maybe they're part of their previous life and vice versa. But I think also, like, as we grow up, we get busy. We get busy with work. We get busy with school. We get busy with the children, with other things, that with material things, like what kind of car am I gonna get? What cool computer is coming out, or cell phone? Or we're just always so busy watching TV and you know being on the phone. Like, this is everybody now, on the phone all the time. So just chill. Take the time to look around. If you're interested in the paranormal and you want to become an investigator, just like we've been doing it for a couple of months now. And the things that we hear and see, it's, well, some of us have seen some things, some of us have not yet, right? But the things that we hear and that we record, and the proof we have, it's crazy. It's just unbelievable. And I just want people who are watching this, who don't believe in the paranormal, or who don't believe that voices or spirits can be recorded or can be videotaped or whatever, just keep your mind open. That's all we ask. Just
Yeah.
you never know, right? Maybe it's something
don't.
that it's scientific that we can't explain just yet. Like science can't explain it yet. I believe myself. I'll speak for myself, not for the group. I believe in dimensions and entities that could cross through dimensions, and maybe that's what a shadow person is. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you girls think?
Listen, I think the paranormal. Listen, it's remember that thin line between love and hate. Well, there's a thin line between paranormal and life. There really, really is, because it just depends on what you're doing and where you are in life. You may need that little pick me up that spirit is willing to give you. You just have to be open to it.
Yeah, there's a thin line between parallel universes,
Yes.
I believe too. And Linda has a experience.
Let's ask her if she minds us sharing it.
Yeah.
Let us know if you would like us to mention it. Yeah, while we wait.
Yes. So I mean, there's just I think a lot of us have different things. I've had one issue that I will share with you. About 10 years ago, I had a big health scare, and during the health scare, I was in an emergency surgery. Not finding out until about 5 years later, my mother shared with me that I had actually flatlined on the table. And I had wondered why I was dreaming what I was dreaming. I dreamt both my maternal and paternal grandmother came in, and I was looking at a light. And it is true, you do see the light. I saw the light. And the light was beautiful, it was bright, and I was essentially trying to push back from them because they were blocking me from going towards the light. And I said, "It's beautiful. I want to see it. What is it like?"
Yeah, you're lured to it.
Yes,
That's
and
what they said,
that's
yeah.
what I was. But then all of a sudden, they're telling me, "No, it's not your time. Go back. Go back. You're gonna live. Just go back." So when I was trying to still push towards this light, they must have had 10 arms and hands pushing, pushing harder and harder. It's almost like, "Hey, come here. This girl's really tough. We got to get her down there because
Push her back. Push her
yeah."
back.
And it would
Push
it
it back.
felt
She,
like
she
that.
still has to meet the Parababes.
Exactly. So I didn't realize until my mother mentioned it to me. I would say about 5 or 6 years ago, and this happened in 2008. So she waited a little while to tell me, but I'd always wondered what that dream was. Well, now after she had said something, I know what the dream was.
Wow,
So
that's
it
amazing.
does happen,
It's-
and people are there to greet you, or they're
Yes.
there to kick you back.
Oh my goodness, were they your family, friends, or do you recognize anyone?
It was only the grandmothers that I recognized at the time because it was 2008.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it was 2008, so it was only the grandmothers. But it felt like they got an army in there to push me down. But the light was beautiful,
Oh.
and that's all I remember.
What
is
did that
beautiful
light look like?
It was bright, and it seemed like happiness, like
A feeling.
a
Yeah.
feeling of happiness. Like,
Wow.
oh, that looks so comfortable. That, you know what it reminds me of? It's like sitting on a beach, watching the waves.
Very relaxing.
Yeah, very relaxing, very like I could live there for the rest of my life type of thing.
Oh, well, good
That's
thing you
what
came
it
back
felt like. Yes,
because we needed you.
Yeah.
exactly.
Well,
So,
Linda says it's okay for us to share.
Okay.
good.
So, I'm gonna see. Let me go back up here. She said, I have many, I guess, experiences since being interested in the paranormal. The more experiences I have, the more open I become, I believe. One experience I had was when I stayed overnight at the Overland Hotel in Pioche, Nevada. I had a spirit grab my jacket sleeve while I was asleep in the bedding room number 10. Oh,
Oh,
hell
hell
no.
no.
Oh.
That's creepy. This woke me up, and I thought it was my brother playing a joke on me, but it wasn't. Wow,
Oh
that's
boy.
crazy.
And again, it's in Nevada. What is it about Nevada?
And we got a question from Angela asking Linda, "Oh wow, that's interesting. That would be a hotel that I would like to go to." And then she says, "Yes, but unfortunately, the hotel was closed off that one room because the staff doesn't like to enter in there and clean it. The guy who checked us in that day gave us a strange look, and he said no one likes that room. He told us, good luck."
Oh,
Oh, man.
boy. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I-
they don't like to clean it. They don't like to go in.
Thank
I
you
would-
for sharing, Linda.
Yes,
know,
thank
thank you.
you. My goodness, Linda. I don't know how I feel about someone tugging on me.
No.
The tugging part, I'm not.
But
Sure has.
we had those feelings in
Yes.
Whaley House.
We have to go
Mhm.
to that hotel, Angie.
Yeah, because I'm sure that room just isn't the happenings,
Yeah.
all the happenings.
Oh
'Cause
wow,
it's-
that's creepy. I mean, I wouldn't want to be touched. I don't think. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I would. I mean, just so they can say, you know what? I can't debunk this.
No,
You can't. You can't debunk it.
Like
no?
I'm in the
Not
room
at all.
alone. Who
Just-
touched me?
Yeah, exactly.
Like for sure.
Who
Like,
did
who
that?
touched me?
Right?
Nobody. There's nobody in the room.
well, Linda, was your brother there, and did he have a key to the room where he could play a joke on you, or was it just
That's a good question.
yeah?
Wow, that's crazy. There's
Exactly.
a lot of different places that are haunted that people say are haunted. So what are maybe 3 locations that we're gonna go to next, girls?
I want to go back to Alcatraz. I've been to Alcatraz.
I've never been there.
It's creepy.
Yes, and there is a mention of the hole where the bad of the bad ended up going to the hole if they committed some type of crime beyond their crime.
Or they were just being insubordinate.
Exactly,
They were
and
just shoved in there. But that's another story, I guess.
yeah, and it just feels odd. It feels very odd. I think Alcatraz will be good. I think Pioneer Saloon, we should try that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's up with Pioneer Saloon? It's about the ghosts that are there
Mm-hmm.
because they're attracted to like
The area, maybe they lost their life somehow on the roads there. Who
Or maybe they
knows?
just like gambling. And,
maybe they just
Exactly.
like
and the
alcohol and partying and the women.
women.
Hey, could be.
We have Linda. She says the hotel's former owners were killed in the basement of the hotel.
Ooh.
The killers were never caught. Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
Eh.
That's not good.
She says, yes, but he swears it wasn't him. I thought he did her brother
Uh-huh.
did play a joke, but instead it wasn't him, and there was no one there when I opened my eyes. Wow, what an experience, Linda. That's
Yeah,
crazy. That's a unique experience for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then what if we do go to Queen Mary and we get a room? Because quite frankly, room 340 cannot be the only room that has hauntings.
No,
No.
the whole place is. And like you want to know why? Because when you're walking around down the halls, like sometimes, like well, this is what they say that you smell like cigarette smoke. Like there's obviously no smoking allowed on the ship. You smell, uh, like a flower or something. I don't know. In random locations. I mean, in the lowest part of the ship, somewhere weird like that, or in the like in the engine room, you hear different things. Like like when we heard the whistle EVP,
Mhm.
like we didn't hear it with our ears when we
No.
were just there.
Exactly.
But there's a little girl they
Uh-huh.
say there too.
and she
Yeah.
plays with you in the hall. Like
What's her name?
Jackie.
Jackie. Linda
Yeah.
says she's in the Pioneer Saloon team. LOL. But I have taken an extended break from their event. Oh wow! I'm
Oh,
sure
my
she's
goodness.
seen and heard a lot of things. And then Angie says that she went to Alcatraz as well, and is asking Linda if she's ever caught anything in the saloon.
I've never been to Alcatraz, so that would be definitely
We need to go.
a
Yes.
treat for me. You know,
Yes, it's a lot of walking.
It
a lot
is.
of walking.
A lot
Uphill.
of uphill. A lot of uphill walking, and we went in the middle of July.
Oh wow.
And even for the middle of July, when it was 104 degrees down here, it was only 70 degrees to 75 degrees in San Francisco. So it was a lot different in the weather. You'll still have to carry jackets and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Linda
Yeah.
says that she's been doing just many photos and personal experiences while doing the lockdowns. I've been doing them since 2014.
lots
So
Wow.
yeah, so there's a lot of people out there that do what we do. They
Mhm.
investigate, and they want to catch what noises,
Spirits,
spirits,
noises.
whatever they are, right?
Yes. Orbs.
Orbs, yes,
Yeah, a
orbs,
photo, or like
Mhm.
sometimes
shadows.
like a wisp of like spirit smoke or something. I don't know, like ectoplasm. I don't know.
Yes. Well, we've
People
seen
like-
mists. We've caught
Yeah,
mists.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've caught a lot. Well, guys, are you guys ready to say goodnight?
Yes, we are. We'll get together again, and if you want to see this spirit box session or this PSB session again, we'll be happy to show anybody a
Well,
different session at
yes.
another time.
And this one will be recorded, so you'll be able to see it again.
Mhm.
And you can play it back, and you can read in the chat all of the EVPs or whatever Carmen was saying.
Yeah, as soon as the stream is over, you can
Go
go
back.
back and refer to it. Listen, use your headphones
Yes.
and try to get it. Try to get all of the EVPs.
Yeah. We have our Parababe crying now. We gotta feed him. But thank you so much for joining us for our first. Oh, he's upset. Just let him go.
He's mad.
He's mad. We're gonna let you go. Thank
Thank
you
you
for
for
joining
joining
us.
us.
Bye.
We appreciate it.
Wave,
Bye.